All right. So I'm going to go into Miss Pagan's class in about 30 seconds. So just to frame everyone's thinking, we've been talking with ESL, myself and Mrs. Molina, a lot about differentiation. We've been talking about WIDA levels, Lexile levels, and Miss Pagan came to me a couple of days ago to talk about how she changed the structure of her class based off some prior feedback. So I want to go in there now. Feel free to comment. I'll be in there for about 10 to 12 minutes because it's a 40-minute cap on the meeting. And then we'll come back and we'll have some discussion based off of some of the positive things that we saw while in the classroom. All right? All right, everybody's camera should, or everybody's computer should be muted at this point. Yep. All right. Here we go. All right, here we go. Can everyone hear a thumbs up? Can you hear me? All right. Good morning. How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Okay, so before we rotate, I'm going to explain the centers one more time. If you have questions, let me know. Station 1, we're logging into ESL Student Smart. Your passwords are here, and you're going to follow your path within the program. Any questions? Okay. Station 2, you're going to take out your writing that is in your folder that you've already started. Find your card number. Your card number should be on the wall. If you have finished your graphic organizer, you're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to start writing your story. If you're not finished, you're going to continue and then go to the white paper. Any questions?
Wait, there's two different graphic organizers I see there. So
the grapes know that they're going to use the hamburger graphic organizer, and they're also going to transfer their story onto the white paper.
Okay. Oh, so the grapes is a specific group that you guys have, and the grapes know that they're supposed to take a specific. Okay, perfect.
Sorry. Can you go this way? So for station 3, if we are apples, oranges, bananas, and blueberries, we're taking the bin label hot topics. We're finishing our vocabulary flashcards. Once your flashcards are complete, you're going to complete the form and fill in the sentence frames that the words fit into the blank. When you finish this sheet, you're going to take out your flashcards and you're going to quiz each other. For example, if I had the flashcard and I said, Paola, what is fatigue?
He's very tired.
Very tired. I would turn my flashcard over and I would say, correct. And then you would take a flashcard and ask someone else a question. Any questions? Okay. If you are in the grapes, you're working out of the Orange Edge book. You are completing the vocabulary sheet from the practice book. You're going to do both sides, and then you are going to take the vocabulary words and you're going to put them into sentences. Everything is in your bin. For station 4, which is our reading station, apples, oranges, bananas, and blueberries. You know that you're going first to do your story map, because everyone has read their story at this point, yes? So first, we're completing our story element map, and then second, we're trying to cite textual evidence by answering the questions for the flying turtle. If we are in the grapes, we're doing the same thing. We're doing our graphic organizer, and then we're trying to cite textual evidence for the experiment, which is the story from the Orange book. Any questions? No. Okay. Station 5, I told you guys that I was going to change it a little bit today, right? Yeah. Today we're doing prefixes and suffixes. Okay? Apples, oranges, bananas, and blueberries. You're going to take a board. There's a board for everyone. We're going to take a base word. My example, I used. We're going to put it here. Used. Okay, so apples, oranges, bananas, and blueberries, what I want you to do is try to create a new word using prefixes and suffixes. So If I use re, I would open my flap and it says to do again. So can I say reuse?
Yes.
Okay, so then I would write it on my paper. Here's my example. And I'm going to put reuse means to use again. So you are going to try to come up with your definition for the word. Okay? If you're in the grapes, you're going to use the same words, but I want you to make the word and then apply it by creating a sentence. And I want good sentences, right? Yes. Okay, so my example was reuse. I reuse a bottle for my water. And then I wanted for you to try a suffix, so useful. The internet can be very useful. And I underlined the word that I created. You see that? Okay, any questions? Because I know this is new. If you need help, first you're going to ask your captains, and then you're going to ask me or Miss Mello if you still don't understand. Okay? Yeah. I'm going to put you in this group today because so many of them are absent, but you're going to follow Orange. Okay? Any questions for the station?
Yes.
What's your question? You're going to use the same words. There's all different ones. That's a very good question. All the words are in the bucket. So you can try as many different words as you can in the 20 minutes while you're in the center. And you're just going to continue your list. If you need more paper, it's in the basket. Okay? All right. So before we rotate, does everyone have their groups folder?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go to the chart. We're going to start with station B. Okay? Apples, you're going to go to station 2. Bananas, you're going to go to station 3. Oranges, you're going to go to station 4. Grapes, you're going to be in station 5. Blueberries, you're going to be in station 1. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to start the timer. Remember, the captain's job is to make sure everyone is on task, help if people have questions, and to watch the timer. Make sure that you have a minute at the end to kind of tidy up before we rotate. Okay? All right, you may go to your first center. I know this is new. Everyone know where you're going? Okay, so Diogo, while you guys are waiting, open up your folders, like your vocabulary. Here's your example. Right? Everybody it's like chicken from a fried box, right? Where it says big word. And then
Smello? So what are you guys working on at this station? What are you guys doing?
Están haciendo aquí en esta estación.
So fear.
Estamos haciendo una historia sobre una tarjeta.
Fearless.
So,
Según lo que está en la fotografía, eso tenemos que hacer.
uno de ese,
Y luego transformarla cada uno de estos pasos.
Pull up your.
okay. So they're looking at the picture, they each get a card,
Okay,
and then they look at the picture,
Okay.
and then they're gonna write a story about it. So
Okay.
first they put their thoughts here,
okay,
and then they transfer this over here into the story.
okay, okay. So it's a graphic organizer. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, this is
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Muy bien, mi amor.
So which center is this again?
Ms. Mello.
Ms. Mello?
Pasen los folders.
So which center is this?
Centro que é este.
De Y I am fill in the blanks.
Filling in the blanks. But o que a gente tem que fazer aqui? Isto é o quê?
A gente tem que pegar essas letras e colocar aqui e depois pegar o, como é que fala? A sentença dele, escrever aqui de lado. Depois a gente vai cortar a folha e mostrar um pro outro e virar para ver o que está escrito para ver se o outro sabe.
Okay. So what you said, they're taking these letters,
Okay.
which she means these words,
Okay.
and putting them on here, and then they're going to take the sentences, which she means definitions.
Okay.
Right? Now, you speak a little English.
Okay.
You can tell Mr. Brown, and then they're going to fold them in half, and they're going to quiz each other.
Okay. Oh, so you want to quiz each other after you do that part. So kind of like a peer assessment, kind of testing each other.
Yes, so depois que vocês terminarem tudo, depois é que terminar isto, depois é que vocês vão dar, mostrar um ao outro o que estão a fazer e um diz o que é a palavra, diz o que é que quer dizer, não é? É isso?
Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. And you guys, this is the new center, Station 5, right? So what are you guys working on in this center? Okay. Okay, you grab words from the bucket, you said? Okay. Okay.
Basically, you can
Just prefixes and suffixes, set up, right? Okay. So you're making new words based off of the prefixes and suffixes. All right. Thank you, buddy. And this is the new center for today, right? All right, cool. So after the time goes out, because I see the timer, there's a timer on the board. When the timer goes out, what happens next?
we change rotations.
You change rotations? Okay. How do you know where to go? Oh, I forgot the reading rotation chart. All right, thank you, buddy. All right. Bom dia, bom dia, bom dia. Ah. So what are you guys working on in Station 4? Okay, so it's the reading station over here?
Yeah.
All right, so I see you got some, what is it? Story map, okay. Let me get Miss Mello really quick to help me out, because I got to practice I need to practice my Portuguese. All right. So what are we working on over here? Just the reading station they told me?
We read the book.
Okay.
We format from the characters,
Okay.
settings, the problems, the treatment events,
Okay.
and a resolution.
Based off of the hot topic story that you guys read?
Yeah, we need to explain what happened in the book.
Okay.
This is this.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then I see you have another sheet there too. What's the sheet underneath that?
Yeah, here. And we need to ask the questions
Okay.
and say, like, what was that turtle favorite time for year?
Okay.
And here we say, like, what we have to book.
Okay.
We're at here.
So you use the text to pretty much answer
Yeah.
questions. All right. Thank you, buddy. Can I ask you a question? Really quick, because I know you guys kind of changed the structure of the class this week. You changed the station, doing stations now.
Yeah.
Do you like the station format better? Do you like the other format better?
I like it.
You like the station
Yeah.
format better? Why?
Because I like stories and I can explain what I understand.
Okay. Okay.
So I read it and I understand and I can relate to them and they
Okay.
can understand too.
Okay. Who's the group leader in this station? You the group leader in the station? So you make sure everybody's on task?
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty good job.
How are you doing?
You like a pretty good leader.
You making your card?
All right, I think we got it. So we got the timer. We got the 5 stations. All right. Class, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I will see you guys later, okay? Ms. Pagan, thank you so much. Thank you. How do you say bye in Portuguese? Y'all told me yesterday. Oh, that was an easy one. I got it. All right. Okay, so that was my time spent in Ms. Pagan's class where she changed her approach to center-based learning. If you
Oh, are you sure that, I want to say me, and we
okay. All right, can we, it might have blacked out in the hallway. So I'm gonna back away. I'm too close to my own computer in my office. The microphone is kind of giving feedback. But like I said, it was a positive energy in the classroom. The kids were definitely excited. I saw a lot of great things. I saw some comments appearing on the screen. So we can just one by one start unmuting our mics and have some discussion based off of what we saw in the classroom.
Sorry. I'll start. I love the academic vocabulary station because she wasn't just focusing on academic vocabulary, she also incorporated an interpersonal skill. So she had each station differentiated, and then also there were multi-purposes, and she was addressing multiple domains.
One thing, definitely, we saw that at the middle school. One of the things we were super excited about, we were kind of chatting while we were watching with the middle school team, is how well prepared she was, the planning that went into the entire lesson. Do you guys want to talk about anything in particular?
We had many of those students last year, and it was great to see how they've grown and that they're able to follow so well with what we did. In one center, we noticed a kid who didn't really speak any English. In another center, a boy who spoke so much English, and their activities were so different. It was great to see the differentiation within differentiation. That's awesome.
That was actually the piece that stood out to me. I just want to piggyback off from Ms. Stubbington's comment. That was the piece that stood out to me. If you notice, she kept on referencing certain fruit groups. Then the grapes, I think, was the lowest level group that she had. And it was always a different assignment for that specific group of kids. Everybody was aware of what group she was in. So they were in. So that was something that stood out to me as well, a differentiation in various different centers.
I saw one student I recognized from last year who came and couldn't write his name and couldn't, read or write in Spanish or in English, and did so well last year at the middle school, and now looks like he's really thriving there in that environment. So that was really nice to see also.
Mm-hmm.
What we noticed as the English 9 teachers is we liked that there are many standards being hit throughout this lesson. We liked to hear that she was working on citing text evidence, which is a skill that they are going to need when they transition to, the next level of their English class. We like the group protocols and the leader being referred to because, she can only be a certain amount of places at one time. It was a good lesson. There were a lot of high expectations for students that are learning the language.
Another thing that we wanted to note at the middle school that we saw was, I think when Mr. Brown, when you went over to the desk, we saw that on each center rotation desk, there was a "Why am I here?" So the expectations, even though she was obviously well planned, everybody knows that, and we've talked about that, but the expectations were very clear. She clearly communicated why everybody is at each center, what they should learn before they leave, which is she just executed that aspect really well. She did a good job.
I agree.
The students, you could tell the students were extremely engaged.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what the expectations were. They were able to articulate it to you. They seemed confident in what they were doing as well.
I agree. I don't want to point any student names out, but I looked at a couple in particular that I know that can go off task pretty easy. And there's one student in particular, I kept watching him, and he was just working. It was definitely the lesson was laid out for him. He knew what he had to do, and he jumped right into it. And I watched the other day her do a similar lesson, and the same thing, he was working. So he was actually proud. He saw me in the hallway. He was proud. So that was good to see.
No, and I want to piggyback off that too, because I feel like the students were definitely engaged. It's something that she just began implementation, but it looks like she's been doing it in her classroom now for months.
Exactly. I agree.
I just would like to mention too how well she used all of the resources. We have lots of resources that we can use for differentiation, and she seems to really know how to take them and put them together and to meet the students' needs.
You can tell that she used her data just to group them and create activities based on those needs. So I think she did an outstanding job using her data.
One thing you guys may not have noticed is even as a visual for her, when I put the screen against the signs where it showed the period B in the groups, she colored them in relation to Linkit benchmark level. So the red was the lowest group, and then it was the orange. So she used colors based off of the same color that are used in the Linkit from the highest down to the lowest, which is obviously the red color. That was done purposely. Mr. Machillo, Mr. Riley, anything?
Piggybacking on what you had said about the students that could be off task, when you plan a lesson like that where they don't have a chance to be off task, they're going from one thing to the next, and when it's clearly laid out, especially for any newer teacher, not so much even in ELL, but any new teacher, that's the idea that they have to get into. Well, I'm having difficulties with behaviors. Don't give them a chance to be off task. Just continuously have them moving, continuously have them engaged, which, and I had made a comment in the chat function where the more that they do this type of lesson, the less she's going to have to talk because it's going to become the norm of the room. So she'll be able to hit even more things as time goes on because she's going to be spending less and less time going through what the rules or what the expectation of the groups are.
Yeah, I agree. With all the front loading, once they get through it a couple of times, then it'll just be a matter of her being able to say to the kids, let's go to our stations, and then they'll move towards it. I'm kind of reiterating what everybody said all along. I think the pre-planning and all the attention she put into the centers was key to the success of the lesson. It's obvious from that point forward, the kids are going to have an easy time completing the activities based on all the pre-planning.
And using the timer too, it seems like a very little thing, but it's really important to plan those activities and then time them so that the students are doing them long enough that they are successful and that they learned what they needed to learn and they achieve the objective, but not too long where then they can go off task.
One other thing that she mentioned to me prior to the lesson is that, to piggyback off of that, Ms. Molina, she spoke about the timer. I'm giving them 20 minutes to complete a task. If they're aware of the expectation, if somebody does not do what they're supposed to do as far as expectation, she says it's mandatory for them to come to SAP to finish that 20-minute assignment that was assigned during the school day. So they know that if they don't do it in class, a specific center, they're coming back to that specific center during the SAP period. So that was, I highlight that. That was something that she had noted before the observation started.
I think also too, I've had conversations with her too, that she's also going to use this now and add to it, that she's constantly thinking about the future and what additional tasks she could add, even mentioned possibly having them be able to name their groups eventually when they really get involved. So I love the fact that not only does she have a good structure and foundation, but that she's thinking what else she can do and what she can do to build on it in the future as well.
Well, I think she's definitely inspired me. There is a lot of things that I'm going to take back.
Did she cut off?
Yeah, I think she froze.
Oh, she cut off, right?
Yeah, no, she cut off. Oh, right in the middle.
Well, it seems like Ms. Wiggett was going to say the
I
same thing.
we always go back to.
Ms. Wiggett, you cut off. Can you repeat that? It cut off. It blocked you out. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. One of the things I'm going to definitely use in my classroom is the instructions that she put on the wall. It's important.
Yeah, Ms. Wiggett's going to use those instructions that she put on the wall. She feels I think we're about 3 minutes from our end time. It's a 40-minute cap, so I'm going to wrap up here. Thank everyone for coming and giving time to support this. It's hopefully something we can continue to do to highlight some of the positive things amongst various buildings. And I want people to be able to take bits and pieces away from specific lessons and apply it to their own classroom. So thank you everyone for coming, and I will see everyone soon.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.